few words, things got fucked.
We've radicalized a dragoon.
You did manage to slightly radicalize your game.
Had to physically hold Mitty back from hunting Wolf all by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys finally found out that my name in Discord is true.
What?
But Mish is dead.
You guys managed to go several weeks of her being dead without knowing that she was dead.
Yeah,
Correct.
To be fair,
We spent several weeks in the same house.
This is fair. But yeah, so mostly it was getting the party out of Vinali's house, as nice as it used to be. You had spent some time there.
and because you guys spent some time there, it's now on fire and probably doesn't exist.
It's not on fire anymore. Connery made sure of that.
It was just gently burned.
It's slightly charred.
That you guys managed to get out of the city, taking somewhat convenient use of the fact that certain Wolfman was apparently distracting most of the city's law enforcement. Started to send Vinali's parents and Fiora on their way to Sinar Bray whenever they were hoping to maybe take a train or something, depending on what's available. You had otherwise, don't drop my dice, had otherwise sent Sarah to steal an airship, which she returned the following mid-afternoon with, after you guys finally got a night's rest at 10 a.m. or whatever it was. But I believe we left off with you guys getting ready to take off and doing some battle preppy type things. So was there any last minute changes or attunements or anything you guys needed to do to get ready for combat?
we had a full rest, right?
Correct.
Far and away the most important thing.
That everyone's restocked and everything.
Do we need to stock up on some health potions? Can we do that anywhere?
I don't think we can do that.
Is there like a vending machine in the...
What, so there's no vending machine for potions right before the boss door?
A vending machine in the prison?
Yeah,
What?
not quite.
Aw.
That said, like, you guys do have a number of consumables that you've acquired over time, so do check your inventories for anything you might have forgotten that you have.
I'm tapped out of anything that's potable, unless we can somehow liquefy this tail.
I'll take potent potables for 500.
Do I still have that gun, or did I give that back? I can't remember. The Krylock gun?
You should still have it.
Okay, it's in my inventory, so I wanted to be sure.
Yeah, that is something you could use, although I remember saying it would necessitate some rolls to see if you could figure out how to operate it.
You also gave back the black barb that was inside of you.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to make sure, because I couldn't remember if... I knew she took something, and I didn't know if it was a gun.
Yeah, Vinali gave her rifle back.
Okay.
I the big old Gauss rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I love the like the the optics on that one. Just Vinali struggling to pick it up, and it's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. I like tried to hand it over to her with a flourish, but failed miserably, and she just picked it up.
Yeah,
You
she
fucking
is
see
a
the veins popping in your head.
strong waifu. All right. Well, without further ado, then, if you've got everything locked in and ready to go, we'll get started. So the airship takes off from the Ruin Run slope where you guys had made your camp for the morning, as away as best you could from any prying eyes, but definitely out of the city. As it takes off and veers east northeast over the cliffs and where you begin to go over the Worm's Raffle itself, or I think all of you, except for maybe a Hail Mary for Vinali. This is the first time any of you have traveled by air, which is in this setting just not a thing that happens. So there's probably a bit of fascination with the fact that you're all flying right now. And in fact, Mitty, I bet you are the first flying Zoan ever.
Well, hold on. Are we counting the abilities of the harpies?
Well, the first Zoan to fly in a plane.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, the voice.
But you got. Let me pull up the map actually.
I imagine Mitty is like silently freaking out, just like ah.
Meanwhile, Connery is leaning over the side like a dog in a car.
Oh, absolutely.
If it was a boat, he'd be motion sickness, but I don't think you get motion sickness in the air.
You can.
I don't
Can
think
you?
Conrad gets motion
Yeah.
sick. He's too much of an adrenaline junkie.
Turbulence will give you motion sickness if you are prone to that.
Ah. Oh yeah, I guess that does explain the paper bags.
Yeah, so you guys fly over the lake portion of the Ravel where all this water collects from where it falls over the cliffs before eventually meandering its way down the river that you guys crossed a couple of weeks ago coming the other direction. But more of the day will pass before, now that you're getting more into the evening, you will see uh, located centrally about within this lake, there is just a solitary island, not terribly large across, but far enough away from the shore from any direction that it's hard to see land from it. It'd be very difficult to swim from this island to hit land, not even counting the fact that there are dragons apparently in the water.
Sea dragons.
Indeed.
We quote unquote met one.
Met.
But what you see as you approach this island is that the majority of the available space is taken up by pretty much just one large structure. There is a fairly respectably sized stonework and metal construction, sort of I would say what looks more like an industrial manufacturing plant than a jail. You see multiple exit stacks that have huge clouds of a dark black smoke pooling out of it. You see plenty of moving equipment, the not literally, but the fantasy equivalent of like a forklift, in the yard kind of a thing. And multiple, I'd say there are three fairly large towers sort of surrounding the perimeter of the complex, which look like miniaturized versions of the Weathervane Spire that you saw in Twain, complete with its own multi-layered docks that sort of come at different angles and heights of the towers, where airships could dock and tether, goods could be loaded on to take back to Twain, or raw materials dropped off here to sort of exchange. And it's towards one of those towers that Sarah will steer your ship and eventually come to rest against what otherwise is a tower seemingly not in use. And as you come to rest here, you'll notice, as you guys sort of scan below you, there aren't really other people moving about here. The complex seems about as barren and quiet as anything you've seen.
Ah, shit.
Well, if there's an ambush, it's probably waiting inside at least.
So if we just stay on the plane, we'll be fine.
If we stay in the plane, they'll be fine.
That's also true.
Uh, who has the highest perception in your group? Probably Conry, right?
Hold on. I'm on my thing, so my screen's much smaller than I'm used to. My perception's 6.
Yeah, that's higher than.
Yeah. Can you make me a perception check, Juju?
I sure can.
That's pretty high.
Damn, Juju.
Let's see
You
how
do
long it
see,
lasts.
in one of the towers on the opposite side of the complex from you, you do see some still motionless docked airships, mostly smaller 2 to 3 person crafts, but it looked like they have been tethered and left there. So some people did come here.
Okay. So I guess Conry will let everybody else know that, point those out. Maybe it's just not a busy day.
If not for the fact that there are many people who rely on the Skyforge, I'd almost suggest using one of those to make our own entrance.
Fly an airship into the building.
There's one way to avoid a trap, it's to make your own door.
True.
Why shouldn't we steal one of them?
Now, the problem is mostly just that none of us can fly, so once
Well,
you
how hard can it
set
be to
the
figure
airship on a course to crash into the roof, you're kind of stuck on the craft until it does so.
out? How hard can it be to figure out?
Oh no.
The party was never heard from again.
As she finishes tying off your craft, Sarah will shrug and say, "If that's how you wish to go about it, it's your prerogative. There are many floors beneath the ground level, though, so like as not, you won't hit anybody."
Damn it. That's disappointing.
Just be a noisy entrance to tell them where we are, really.
Fine. Poke logic-sized holes in my reasoning. Why don't
Sorry.
you should be.
How dare.
How dare you make me consider things reasonable?
You come at me with logic.
Do you know if they utilize the water in the forge here?
It's a forge.
They could use it for cooling something. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just wondering if there would be a water-based entrance that we could try to maneuver through.
Sarah will think for a few minutes and say, I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with all of the construction of this place. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a way in from below, but I'm the one that can regenerate, and I'd rather not set foot in that water.
I'm with Sarah on this. I don't want to touch that water either.
That's a good enough reason as any.
Vinali will just look at Connery and say, "But I thought you liked dragons."
That doesn't mean I want to get eaten by one of them.
It might be a girl dragon.
Shut the fuck up.
One of your many exes.
I swear to God. I'm leaving this party and finding my own.
What? Does Connery have a surname?
No. Not that he knows of, anyway.
Well, it works anyways. Connery Pilgrim versus the world.
He doesn't have a middle name either, so you can't use that against him.
I have to battle against the millions of Connery's evil exes. I can't wait for when we finally meet the Dreaming Queen, and it turns out that that's another one of Connery's exes.
Oh God. Jesus, Connery got around.
The entire thing
has nothing to do with us releasing the fog dragon. It's
Yeah.
all just a bitter
Breakup.
Yeah.
The
Connery
reason
can't
why
remember.
she's been trying to suppress all memories is because of she wants everyone to forget about her being jilted.
Damn.
Rain's like, I'm gonna write this down.
I hate all of you. You're
Can't
wrong,
wait.
friend.
I can't wait for next year when we see this in action.
I'm not doing anything, though.
And
I
I'm
hate all
just
of you
here.
except Cal.
And I haven't really done anything either.
Well, you're dead, so sorry. Go stand over by Cal. He's my only friend.
You say that while you're on Mitty's shoulders.
Just grab Mitty by the ears and direct him over.
Okay, well, how would you guys like to go about entering the establishment?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Front door it is.
Are there any windows we can sneak in through?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very large building. There's not like only one entrance. There's multiple sort of like hangar doors that you can try and find a way to jimmy into.
Maybe we should consider one of those entrances instead of just blasting in through the front.
Yeah, I guess it might be slightly more. Well, there is a front door in the sense that maybe that's where visitors would go through, but for workers at this place, it looks like there's not necessarily a front to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as you guys move down as a group and walk across the well cared for, if not abundantly large, work yard here around the manufactory, you get to one of these shutter gates that would be able to open or close to permit large transfers of material or export.
Large tracts of land. Sorry.
You're fine. The gate is closed. You can inspect it if you wish. There's probably ways to get it open. Brute force would be pretty heavy, but not undoable. If you just want to Iron Man it.
Iron Barrett.
Oh my god, put Mitty in an Iron Man suit.
Just take a 3-level dip in Artificer.
Maybe we have a long we hopefully have a long future ahead of us. We'll see where this goes.
Alright, Mitty, do your thing.
And what thing would that be exactly?
Get your claws under the door and lift it, I suppose.
Well, you don't have to ask me twice. Mitty will attempt to remove the door from its hinges.
Yeah, so it's like one of those sort of like sort of segmented garage doors, right?
Oh, like a yeah, like it like it's on tracks.
Mm-hmm. So
Alright.
you bend down, get your claws underneath it, and essentially you're gonna just try and brute force lift it up. So make me just an athletics check.
Alright.
Lift with your knees.
Oops. How did I roll it? Oh, yeah. 14.
Okay. It doesn't fly up with a resounding crash, but without much effort, you guys watch as Mitty lifts with his knees and eventually is able to hold the door open to where, if she was with you, Mish would be able to walk under without ducking.
It's kind of heavy, so go.
Go, go,
Tuck
go.
and roll. Tuck and roll.
Yeah, Sarah just scoots under without really having to adjust her height at all. But one by one, you guys duck through um, until at last Mitty is just left holding and has to do the awkward shuffle of keeping it up while like doing the limbo to get himself underneath it. But eventually, you guys are all inside, and Mitty lets the door go, which promptly slams shut again with a heavy and final sounding thunk.
Well,
What you guys are greeted by is a dark and unlit um, work bay. It looks like almost something like from a modern day, like a mechanic slot, like a car mechanic. And you see plenty of transfer carts and moving equipment, wheelbarrows, things like that. Things not unlike what you had Sarah strapped to as you evacuated the city last night. Some of them are still loaded with goods, raw, unprocessed metals. In other cases, as you move further in, you begin to see wholly constructed ingots of some unknown metal to you guys. It looks like this place was pretty much abandoned, like in a hurry.
can we take any of the ingots and put them in our pocket?
It's an ingot.
Egg.
If you would desire to.
Are they worth anything? It's sky steel, right?
It's an ingot.
Could be a weapon.
It most certainly could be. I don't know if you've ever held condensed metal before. It's heavy.
I want one. May I have one? Please. Just one.
It's shiny.
Yeah, it's shiny. I want one.
Yeah, I mean, you are welcome to take it if you wish, Connor.
I would like one, please.
You're
One
carrying it.
I'm carrying one ingot.
One ingot, please.
Let's see. So an ingot of steel
Oh,
weighs more than. No, that's not. That can't be right. 500 tons. That's ridiculous.
that sounds like a beam.
Usually an ingot is like 6 to 12 inches long.
If you Google, you just Google steel ingot weight, the first thing that Google suggests is more than 500 tons.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh,
It does.
octagonal masses weighing. Small rectangular blocks weighing a few pounds to huge tapered octagonal 500 tons. I don't want the 500 tons one.
So a 3/4 inch by 1.5 inch by 4 inch is approximately 1 pound. What? That doesn't sound right.
It's kind of
I mean,
excessive.
that's very small, so that sounds about right.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
So a cubic weight per cubic foot of steel is 500 pounds.
There we go.
I don't need a cubic foot of steel.
That's about what the an ingot would be, right? Like about a cubic foot.
Not
Yeah.
carrying that much shit. Fine, I won't take one.
I mean, you gotta think like they're trying to make blades and shit out of it, or
Yeah, it's not like
potentially
a gold ingot where its entire purpose is just to be a trade good.
be heavy and obnoxious to fucking cart around.
But I mean, there's just because the fully processed ingot might be heavy for you, you do have the collapsible chest, and there's enough. I'd say even just within this work bay, there's like the raw ore. There's other things. If you wanted to just take your collapsible chest out and stuff it with shit, you could do that.
I do want to do that. Can I do that? I want to do that. I want to stuff my collapsible chest.
I just wanna point out we have a rogue in our party, and it's the monk that's stealing everything. Like we have an honest to goodness pirate.
Well, the last time the rogue
It's not-
stole something, it was cursed.
Yeah, I kind of learned my lesson, and boring metal doesn't do it for me, so he can have this one.
But think of the booty.
I will
It's-
poke around in some of the more finished goods areas of the workshop and just see if there's anything that catches my eye that might be useful.
Okay, well, since we're taking a siesta for this, how about we do a group investigation check?
Oh yeah. My investigation is fucking shit.
Oh, and I'll keep track of those, but actually, I meant to have a discussion before we started.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. No, not with that, but like before we started the game, and I forgot.
Oh.
I had a thought. I've been thinking on it, and I wanted to run it by you guys regarding the story point issue.
Okay.
Would you guys like? How do you guys feel about making the story point system an individual basis and essentially using it as inspiration? So you get a point of inspiration, you can use that on the things you currently can use story points on. It'll be a personal resource, and to balance the fact that it is a personal resource, you're not necessarily going to have it every session. You might not get inspiration again for 2 or 3, so you still have to, conserve it if you wish to. You can still be caught without it, but that way you don't have to feel like, oh, if I do my cool thing, then I'm depriving Cal of his ability to do his cool thing.
Oh, yeah, I like that because
Do like a limit of 1, and then you can only have the 1 until you use it.
Correct. You
Okay.
It's either something you have. In fact, if you look in your character sheets,
Yeah, there is an inspiration thing above proficiency bonus.
yeah, so sort of top left, there's a tracker for that of inspiration. So if you have it, you can spend it to do a story point thing, and you'll get it back when you do something narratively interesting or mechanically cool, or the story fits it. I know I haven't given a ton of inspiration out, but if we change to this system, I would. You feel me?
Yeah,
I
I
get
like that. Yeah, because it definitely it's a lot more palatable to like worry about whether or not you have a resource than depriving someone else of a resource.
I have one question though.
Hmm.
If let's say we use ours, does that mean whatever we use now goes into your pocket?
Yeah, I will still use the dark side of the force thing.
It's kind of like how Wrath and Glory does it. If you use a glory die, it becomes a wrath die that proceeds to bone you.
Yeah, so like if you have a really tough combat and like three people decide to use their personal story points, then that means I'll have plenty of fodder to do bad things to you guys.
Oh god.
Love it.
Yeah,
Do
I'd
you
be fine.
ask do you ask first or you just go for it?
Well, you have to say what you want to do with it. Because so right now, everyone should have your background and your race both gave you something to spend a story point on specifically, but you can also use it for the more mundane. I just want to roll this important thing with advantage.
Wait, did the backgrounds have?
Yeah,
Yes,
the
Yeah.
backgrounds had various things that you could do.
yours is war stories.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking that was just a skill. For, do I have it written down that uses story point?
There's a very real possibility I will wind up using mine as we head into this place. It's all about trap disarming.
Oh, nice. It does say that. I'm sorry. Totally missed that. Granted, I haven't used it very often or ever.
Yeah, it's not a problem. So, did anyone have an issue with the story point change? Because sounded most people were on board.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
down
fine.
with that.
definitely.
Okay, so we'll move to that system going forward. Um, I guess given we're almost a year into this, why don't we just have everyone can start now with one? So go ahead and check the box if you didn't if you don't have one.
Yeah.
But going forward, like I said, it might be a few sessions between before you regenerate them if you use it.
I don't know if anybody uses the dark mode for Roll20, but the inspiration icon animates in, and it doesn't do that in light mode.
Yeah,
So cute, I like it.
it's pretty sick.
I hope they kind of just revamp the whole thing as they continue moving forward.
Okay. Did you want to do an investigation check for Melanie?
Richter.
You didn't roll your investigation.
Oh,
Okay. Still pretty good for the party as a whole. Okay, so I'll say Juju. You load up your chest with you have 50 pounds of raw ore.
How should I put that in there since it's in the collapsible chest?
You can just make another entry in your inventory for it.
You can also put it in the treasure thing under the bio tab, so that way it doesn't add to your character weight if you care about that kind of stuff.
Oh. Okay. So just the 50 pounds of raw ore?
You can also have, I'll say, 20 pounds of steel plate. And you also can take you can write down a bag of Magitech shit. Just general things that you have no idea what their purpose is.
It looks cool though.
Ooh, shiny.
Obviously,
those-
very, very processed, very intricate. Like design has gone into them. You just don't know what they are.
They just look fun. And so they are mine now.
Like
Also,
one of them is just one of those symbol tapping monkey dolls.
I'll also say with the two people had above a 20. Between you, Conry, and Vinali, you two locate much more hidden, sort of in the back of this workshop, underneath a few things on in a workspace where it looks like as they were leaving, whatever worker intentionally tried to hide this.
Ooh.
You will find what's a good trying to think of a good keyboard sized box with which has a couple of small bars of a very iridescent, almost like it's a very shiny metal that has like a galaxy pattern inside of it.
I want some. How much do these weigh?
The whole box probably 10 pounds. It is bizarrely light.
Huh. You want to split it?
Well, you're the one with the magic chest. You can store it in there for now.
I don't know if anything else will fit in my chest.
Your chest holds 200 pounds, I think.
Oh, well then yeah, I'll store them in my chest.
If it is a reflavored bag of holding is 500.
Okay. Box of weird galaxy metal is now in my chest.
So that is your bounty from scavenging in this workshop while
Alright.
beneath
hope I
this
don't
your
die.
friend suffers.
It'll cover our medical bills.
Oh,
Even in
no,
a fantasy world, healthcare sucks.
no insurance.
It's like that no bitches, no health insurance?
That's some maidenless behavior right there.
I
Look at
love
this.
how it transitioned to maidenless. It's amazing. The internet sometimes is actually a wonderful place.
All right, so you guys, after this brief bit of larceny, head through to find the central sort of working chamber where it splits off into all these different individual hangar bays. Um, you proceed further down that hallway, your feet echoing off of the ceramic tile and echoing in this very large space. The halls here are 30 feet tall. Like it's the acoustics here are pretty good. it, Nothing here seems to suggest that they were currently doing so, but it's the size of this place makes it seem like they could transport within, like if they were building like a ship or something, like a boat, like they could construct pieces of it even inside here and move it about. Sarah takes a bit of point here and will lead you guys further down to where you eventually find a huge set of double, like a double set of stairs that move back further down to the floors below. And as you descend down further into old irons, you see more manufacturing, industrial areas with like conveyor belts that move between separate forges, which have all gone cold and ashy and dark. You see, again, it's like production was stopped like mid activity here with raw ore on some of the conveyor belts, which you see having been processed into ingots on further conveyor belts as you pass them, but everything is still here. You all will also notice as you move about, um, you don't see any people. You don't see any of the Church of the Dreaming Queen here either. You'll also see, um, apart from all of the forges being cold and like all of the fires having gone out, you also see that, or notice during your passage, that all of the Magitech machinery here, of which there is plenty, has been partially deassembled.
I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for that weird ashy substance.
Yeah, it doesn't take you long to locate it, especially in as part of a location where there were numerous 20-foot mechanical arms that look to have been meant to move things between belts. There's a huge pile of the ash between them, and it seems like all of their power cores have vanished.
Well, they've been busy. I do wonder about that dragon cult that was supposed to have been holed up here, though. I expected to at least find their corpses.
Mm-hmm.
You will also see, with no clear way to access them, that once you get into these foundry spaces, there are catwalks, or maybe not the best word for them. There's like a higher tier to this room with sort of separate hanging hallways that go like a supervisor across the room to where someone could be up there and sort of spectate the work going down below. There's no clear way to get up there in any of the rooms you pass through, and it also strikes you that they are ubiquitously blocked off with iron bars, like caged, so that nothing could get up into them.
Hmm.
What do you presume that's about?
Well, if the labor used to produce things here is something untoward, then the people supervising them would certainly need protection in case there's a riot. That would be my guess. How they get in there is something of a mystery, but I suppose we may find a way up there as we continue along.
And Sarah will chime in and say, there's parts of this complex that only foremen and leadership were allowed into. You needed access keys, and there are special doors further in.
I think they would have taken all theirs with them.
The ones who got out, most likely. Um, not sure if any spares were left behind.
That might be something we have to poke around for then. Assuming, of course, that they're not going to make this easy for us and we have to delve into the bowels of this place.
Well, is there a common area that the foremans would frequent or something like that? Some sort of officer lounge?
Sarah will think to herself for a few minutes before changing her path and start leading you guys out of this more production-oriented area where you enter a wide open, just sort of exchanging space. She begins to lead you guys towards what looks like more of a communal space, perhaps a cafeteria, though it's hard to tell, vacant as it is. But as you are scurrying about in the ruins of this place, again, every footstep from all of you echoing around. Those of you, I think, Connery definitely, and I also think Mitty, both of you with your more animalistic hearing, will hear another an echo that does not belong to any of you moving about with you.
Well, shit.
What's the matter?
There's something else here.
Something else? Where specifically? What are you looking at?
Can I try and pick out where the sound might be coming from?
Yeah, make me a perception check.
Okay.
Ooh, can Connery do that too?
Yeah, you can both roll it individually, or you can give him advantage on it.
I win.
Okay, so do you guys come to a stop while this is happening, or do you try and listen while you keep moving?
Come to a stop.
I would say keep going just to not draw suspicion that we know that we're being followed. Smitty would want to catch them surprised.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think we should keep moving.
Are we gonna be able to hear if we keep moving? We've got our own echoes to worry about. But yeah, Connor will follow.
Okay, so bit of a disagreement at first, but seeing as the rest of your party keeps moving and Connery follows, the two of you, with your better hearing, try and duck your heads together and listen as you hear your own party moving forward and the sounds reverberating in this space. Mitty, you become fairly convinced that it's not moving continuously, but whenever you guys get too far away, you hear something very quickly and very heavily shift forward to keep you in sight from the walkways up above.
How high up are these walkways?
15 feet or so.
Do you think Mitty could throw Connery up there?
I was just thinking the same thing, and I was gonna climb my way up after him.
You can certainly try.
So yeah, I think
Connery's got his wings. When he dashes, he can fly.
The problem is that it's all caged in. So you might be able to punch through, but you wouldn't be able to like get up there and land.
I mean, isn't acid one of the abilities that he has? Can he just corrode through the bar?
Might take a little bit.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, if they're bars, he could just like. So it's not like he'd fall back down again. He could grab on, keep wailing on it until it lets him in.
Let me in. Let me in.
Well, which are you guys doing, or both?
Do you want to both go up there?
I think it would probably be safer if we both went up there.
Okay. So yeah, I think while they're walking, Mitty is just gonna kind of nod at Conry, and then suddenly try and fastball special him up there, and then try and find the nearest like support beam or something to start climbing up after.
Alrighty.
I am going to burn a rage to do this, just so I get. Oh wait, no, I don't have the extra movement speed thing yet. No, never mind, I won't.
I will say when they start getting nearish to the catwalk overhead, I am going to toss fairy fire up there.
Okay, that will affect things. That is a dexterity save, right, to avoid?
Yes. DC 15.
I actually don't think that's gonna make it. 13. No, that misses.
So does not gain any benefit from being invisible. Whatever it is.
So you toss Conry up there, and you do your best, Conry, to just grab onto the bars.
Yeah.
So partially jumping, partially relying on the momentum of Midi to Goomba you up there. You start hanging from the lowest part of the bars. Your entire body below the walkway, and you have to gym class really flex your upper body strength to
Oh, good thing
sort of,
he's got really strong arms.
yeah, kind of pull yourself up. Midi, you move over to the pillar, and do you always have the spider climb thing?
So every time I rest, I get to choose between one of those three things to activate, and I haven't switched out of it. So yes,
Okay,
technically.
so you're able to just walk over there and spider bear your way up.
Yeah.
Do you wish to like shimmy your way fireman pole style, or are you gonna just like start walking vertically up it?
So you know how like when bears charge on all fours,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that up the.
God.
So gravity defying bear.
Yeah, gravity defying bear.
Okay, so you both will get up there close to the same time, actually, with Connery having to muscle his way up there. And so you get there just as Finale finishes casting his spell, which are you going to intentionally try and do it such that it won't hit the two of them?
Yeah, I wanted to do it like right before they got within the area of effect of it.
Okay. So
Also, for the fluff of it, the fairy fire is a reddish orange sunset glow.
all right. So as you guys both pull yourselves up to look properly into this walkway, which at first it's an empty walkway of like sort of a metal catwalk. But just as you both pull yourselves to be able to see into it, you see the beautiful sunset glow begin to outline a very large, like bigger than Midi figure that is
How?
sort of just hunching there, seemingly invisible. And it is right in front of where you're pulling yourself up the bar, Connery.
Oh,
So I'm going to give you, because of the fairy fire, I'm going to give you advantage on this. Make a dexterity save at advantage. As the moment you become able to see it, it also lashes out at you. Yeah, okay. So you have the choice to try and swing out of the way or to drop. It's up to you.
I'm gonna swing out of the way.
Okay. So sort of acrobatically using your stupid monk shit, you do
The
your best.
scientific name.
You lose a bit of height, but by swinging yourself sideways, you move to a different set of bars to keep yourself held up. Because the space where you were becomes filled with something very large and having been shot out very quickly. And you guys, even down from below, hear the two bars that Connery had been holding on to bow out with a groan of metal
Well, shit.
as the fairy fire is still clinging to them, but the invisibility spell dissipating. You see the massive tattooed arm of Ironclaw protruding through the bars, again, sort of bowing them out, and the areas where they touch his bicep begin to glow the same orange that his tattoos are.
Well, that can't be good. I'm gonna start trying to like. And then look down at Mitty and be like, "Hey, you're."
You're cutting in and out.
Yeah, I think you're cutting yourself off.
I was gonna say that he was gonna look at Mitty and be like, "Buddies, I can't saw what Ironclaw looks like."
Did anyone else get that?
I did not.
What? Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go
Yes.
slow. Go slowly.
I was gonna ask, I was gonna say that Connery is gonna look down at his buddy is here, but then I can't remember if any of us actually saw what Ironclaw looks like before.
No, but
None of us did.
yeah, but I think maybe Mitty would be able to recognize the tattoos.
Melanie did, technically, I suppose.
Yeah, Melanie would have, and that all said, although you don't know him personally, it, it's hard to mistake a full Lupo when you see one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mitty's been given all the information that he needs onto whose ass he needs to kick. Lupo with tattoos.
Good thing Connery doesn't have tattoos. Well, he's not a full Lupo either.
Yeah, you're not a Lupo. We've been over this. No.
Yeah, but as you duck out of the way, Connery, and manage to avoid this surprise blow, Ironclaw will withdraw his. And as he does, you see like his arm is just freakishly long. It's something about Lupo physiology, like
Yes.
those arms on like Midi would drag across the floor. You feel me? But he just withdraws them with a sort of animalistic grunt and turns his head to look at you all with the muzzle protruding forward. Cheap trick.
That's cute coming from the coward who's hiding in the shadows.
Hunting.
I thought you Lupo was supposed to be braver than that, stalking from the shadows.
Yeah, the figure comes and wraps his hands around the undamaged bars, the huge, like, many inches long claws on each of his fingers, wrapping like many times around the width of the bar as he pulls himself closer to the edge to look down at you guys. He'll just snort and sort of breathe heavily and say, "Why do you skulk about like rats and vermin?"
Sounds
That's
more
the,
like something you were doing, bro.
I was gonna say that's the same question that I was about to ask you. Seem to have caused quite the ruckus trying to find me.
Why would I want to find you?
Well, according to my friend, you were looking for Toughhide.
You? You were Toughhide?
And I take it that you were Ironclaw?
You see, as he is a wolf, but there's a moment where he breaks down into laughter where there's almost something hyena-ish about the fit of giggles this sends him into as he backs off from the bars and just sort of holds himself laughing for a few seconds. I, I did not expect the tough claw to be scum hiding amongst prey.
And I never suspected a Lupo to be this much of a coward and a tool. But I guess we're all disappointed this day.
Never thought I'd see the day that one of the legendary Lupo would be bound by a leash.
There is another loud clang of metal as one of his hands pushes forward to grab the already bowing metal bar and push it further out until you, especially those of you up at the walkway, almost feel more than hear it snap from the top and bend down as he'll just now able to like lean his head out of the cage, look down at you, Vinali, and say, "Do you see, leash rat?"
I don't need to see it to know it's there. You're working for the agents of the Dreaming Queen. Why else would you be here?
Which woman said she'd deliver me many prey and tough hide? I did not think tough hide would also be prey.
That sounds like employment to me.
Sad state of affairs when once proud Zoan are now nothing more than mere pets. What is it that you gave up first, your sanity or your pride? Or was it your honor?
You guys watched the Lupo withdraw from the edge of the walkway and sort of pull himself back away from the two of you, who I assume have just sort of been hanging there while this discussion's happening.
Just staring at a zoo animal.
He'll pull himself back and sort of move, not totally away from you, but starting to back away from you guys, further down the walkway. But he'll be speaking as he does this, and he'll say, I did what I had to do to track down the tough hide that fled homeland, hid with rats and prey and vermin.
You seem to have been misinformed of the situation. I haven't fled anywhere.
You left Cradle, fled after you cast your curse upon the grove, or so say the Tenders.
Oh, so you're talking about the second time I was cast out of the grove. And here I was worried this was retribution for the first time. But if it's the case of Winter's Grove, well, I guess foolery is, or foolishness is something that is common among the followers of Summer, then?
I know not your details, Tough Hide. Knew not what I was looking for. Was just told some accursed warrior, blessed by dark magics, had done terrible things. You scared them, Tough Hide. Scared the Tenders enough for them to come to me.
It's their own arrogance and stupidity that should scare them. But regardless, this is your job then. You go out and hunt down that which the Tenders fear, then return home for a nice little slab of meat and a good pet.
How would he respond to that? What he will say, and this is the last you'll get from him before he charges, he will say, I serve not the Tenders, nor Summer, but I will hunt you all the same. And then, using the space that he has made, he rushes forward 20 feet to make a dead sprint at you, Midi.
This is what I was hoping for.
So, I have a stat block here. Yeah, so he will, oh, hold on.
Do I get a reaction before he comes charging at me, or is...
Oh, damn it. For some reason,
Did not save the block?
his stat block didn't save.
Oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate. Why did it get...
want to take a
So
5-minute
much
moment?
work on it. No.
Oh no.
Want to take 5 while you figure that out?
Sure, I'm sorry.
You're good. I'll be right back.
Not your fault.